Printing tickets for both contract accounts and service accounts. In review, if you're a contract account, you set the group type to CONT under contracts. So under account review, if I select this account here, you'll see that the contract type is CONT, signifying that it's a contract type. Under the standard charges for this account, I've also entered in the occasional invader pest control exterior, and then under the service agreement tab, entered in the contract value, which is quarterly, 4 times a year for $500. I've also entered in a service charge that's quarterly also to correspond to this same frequency. The other example here is shown. It is not a contract account, so it does not have the service agreement amounts in it. Now, since for this test I've entered in several accounts on October 28th, I will simply go to Routes and say Print from Calendar Schedule. This is the procedure you'll do to print out invoices or tickets. Then I'll select the date range I want. In this case, it's October 28th. It's checked off to automatically add to the transaction file as a pending charge. This was done under Route Defaults, and over here where I'm using the invoice number, automatically charging to the account, printing a barcode, and marking as pending. I've also identified the style sheet to print out for the contract types. And then lastly, under barcode navigation, I've chosen type 11, which is to ask for the job completed and reschedule if needed, if it's not. So let's print those tickets out. You'll notice that the contract amount is shown here. Any previous balance information is shown, and the installment amount due here. An additional fuel surcharge is also shown and totaled into the amount due. Likewise, the other tickets print out accordingly, with their service charge shown and the amount due, including tax, if applicable. Once those tickets are printed and provided to the technician, they'll be handed back to you, and then you will scan those tickets. Let's scan the one with the contract price. You'll see that it comes up with a question, the customer's name, and was the service completed. If you press yes, it automatically will go to the payment screen for you to enter in the payment amount. You can enter in a check number if you have it, and you can enter in the invoice number also and click on it over here and just press OK. If we look inside of the transaction file, for that test account, you'll see that the 2 services were printed out, marked with a 1, and then the payment was entered. Let me delete these rows out and show you again that after the ticket was printed, it came up with the marked as pending. So I'll go to Routes, Print from Calendar Schedule, to 28th, press OK. It won't duplicate it, by the way, also. If you print this more than once, it will not duplicate it inside the transaction file. So notice in the transaction file, in orange, it says 905 for the type. That means it's a pending charge. And again, if I looked into the calendar, you'll see that there's pending charges here for the test account 04, 01, and the test PO account. Now, go scan it. If you said the service was not completed and hit no, you'll be brought automatically to the schedule appointment screen, so you can pick another day for the appointment and select that customer. So if they want to reschedule in the future, you could just pick a day. You have to select the customer. And then you could say create new appointment for the customer. You also could have gone to the calendar for that day in October, and just dragged the appointment over there. So if I go to the month view, you see where it says test account 04 when I highlight it. I could simply drag this to another day, and now he's scheduled for the 10th of November. So there's two choices. I prefer that you go through the scheduled to be done screen, because this allows for filtering. It also shows like the technician name for those days, and then you can just simply again select the customer that you're trying to reschedule, pick the day, and then just say create new appointment for existing customer. And again, if we were to scan that same ticket again and say yes, that it was done, enter in the payment, it automatically goes into the transaction file, marks it completed, and shows the payment here in blue, and their current balance is 0.